And a major boost to India-China ties. As per defense sources, the armies of India and China have completed 80 to 90% of the disengagement at the 2 points. Now, the process includes removal of all types of infrastructure, pulling back of troops by both sides, and the entire process is expected to be completed by today. Now, earlier, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said that the frontier troops of both India and China engaged in relevant work in accordance with the agreement that was reached between the two nations on the issues concerning the border. We have my colleague Nazir joining us. Nazir, the disengagement now in its absolute final phase.
Exactly, and at two places, Depsang and Demchok, two very critical friction points that the de-escalation has, disengagement has been achieved. Almost 80 to 90% troops have already been pulled back, and then it will. This is seen as a first phase, first step to achieve ultimate peace along the line of actual control and bring the situation back to April 2020. When this all started, and it was not just easy for both the sides to achieve all this milestone. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi met President Xi at Kazan during BRICS summit, it was very clear that India and China have achieved consensus on border management and de-escalation, disengagement at the border. So that first step has been taken. Then the second step would be de-escalation, and finally it would be the de-induction. But that needs trust on both sides, because a large number of troops were mobilized and deployed in the line of control in Eastern Ladakh following Galwan incident to match the number of Chinese troops. Besides troops, massive military airstrike also mobilized there. So it was an eyeball-to-eyeball situation. Finally, after a number of talks and meetings at the military level, at the diplomatic level, both the sides have agreed that there will be disengagement at these 2 points, and then there would be second phase would be on the other areas also. This is a crucial, very important step, because one important thing, India's biggest success has been, despite all the provocation, despite all this confrontation, it didn't allow situation to cross that threshold after the Galwan incident and further escalate. And the other side, India ensured that there's a ceasefire along the line of control as well with Pakistan since February 2021. So achieving this, disengagement there is important step, very important step for the de-escalation and finally the induction of the troops, so that troops can go back to their original basis, what External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has said. So that is the ultimate goal, but clearly that needs time, that is trust between both the sides. But as you can see, the last week's meeting between President Xi and Prime Minister Modi was actually a icebreaker meeting. And finally, we see today it is expected that this disengagement is finally being achieved at these two friction points, Depsang and Demchok in Eastern Ladakh.
Right, both the countries aiming to resolve the border issue. And to get more on this, we have Gunjan Singh, China expert, the Associate Professor of the O.P. Jindal Global University, joining us. Gunjan Singh, like we said, both the countries are aiming to resolve the border issue. What are the next steps that we can expect, and what more can the government really do?
As we have just heard, obviously disengagement is good. Obviously, it takes some time. They're saying 80 to 90% disengagement has been achieved, but we also have to see there are border structures, temporary border structures being constructed on both the sides. There's an eyeball-to-eyeball situation that was there. 50,000 troops on both sides were facing each other. Obviously, overall disengagement will take some time going ahead. The next step would be obviously de-escalation, that you have to cool down the tension across the border. That can only be achieved through further talks. And as I think the Foreign Minister, External Minister Jaishankar has also been saying, that we have to see what China offers, or how much China commits, and what are the ground realities going ahead. We cannot just be giving in. It's a positive step. Obviously, President Xi and Prime Minister Modi meeting in Kazan actually showed that there is some thaw emerging in the relations. They had not met for last 4.5 years, almost since Galwan crisis. So the next step would be we have to see how far we can take the relations positively forward. How much does China commit and how much does China actually deliver on the border? We cannot let the trust deficit is way too high right now. So that needs to be bridged. We have to build the trust again. I think we going back to April 2020 would also mean in the trust factor as to the whole breakdown of the CBMs need to be restored, and that can take some time. That will take, I think, some more talking, some more mutual consensus on both sides going ahead.